issue we're having with the Cybertruck. So top 4 issues. So let's take a look at the first. All the adhesive are coming off. So this is adhesive for the front. You can see there, just basically just peeling off right there. And the same thing on the right side. You can see there, it's starting to come off already. Right there. All right, so that's one. Let's take a look at what's going on in the rear. So the rear, these stop working after a car wash at home. So you can't control this anymore from the back. You actually have to do it from the display or from your phone. All right, that's nothing. The major issue is we can't drive this, and this vehicle will be at SEMA. But it's the day before SEMA, and guess what? While we were driving, this alert came off. Service required. Power limited, okay to drive, rear motor disabled. So before this alert came on, there was a like a thump noise while we were exiting a highway. So luckily we were exiting going approximately maybe 30 miles per hour. Nothing out of the ordinary, just a exit we normally take. And then we heard this thump noise. And then all this alert just pop up. The vehicle starts shaking, and we can feel it vibrate a little bit at the stoplight. And again, this was just last night, earlier today. So we tried letting it sleep, rest a little bit, but rear motor disabled. One good thing I have to say is Tesla did disable the motor that stopped working. So it could be what people have been complaining about, where they have to get the motor replaced for the tri-motor, dual motor. I heard mostly the dual motor. The rear motor just gives out. There was another buddy of mine from Instagram. His just gave out a couple days ago as well. But both motors, I believe, he just got stranded on the highway. So I'm going to catch up with him later and see what's going on. But right now, we barely able to make it home. We couldn't get on the highway because power was reduced. The speed was reduced to, I believe, 54 miles per hour. I didn't really push it because I didn't want to stress out the front motor. But right now, the Cybertruck is I guess Tesla did commit to their single motor Cybertruck, because right now we got a single motor. Front motor is the only thing that was working in the Cybertruck. Everything else is slowly not working, to a point where we have a list of items for the service center. But this is the major item right here. The motor stopped working, so the rear motor, that is. And it's a shame because this vehicle only has, 11,500. So on the forums, people were complaining right around 12,000 miles is when their rear motor was failing, meaning it stopped working. So I'm glad I was on the exit lane, because if I was cruising at 60 or 70 miles per hour and the motor gives out or fail on you like that, I think it's going to put a lot of stress on the front motor, and that might just stop working at that moment in time. So luckily it happened when we were exiting, and also luckily I was by myself, so I didn't have my kids with me, so there was less risk there. I didn't have my parents, family, anyone else, so that was the lucky part. Also lucky is that I didn't take this out on the trip out to Vegas, because we were supposed to head out to SEMA, but right now we're stranded here because we can't get this Cybertruck on the highway. So fortunately we were able to talk with Up, and they hook us up with a contact, and he's going to come by and transport this truck to SEMA to get it on display. So very last minute, and this is very disappointing. Luckily it didn't happen on our way there or on our way back, because we would have been stranded in the middle of the desert. So something to keep an eye out, especially if you're an early Cybertruck owner. meaning that if you're the first, I would say the first few thousands, just be careful when you're getting close to 12,000 miles. Your rear motor might give out on you. So when you're at 11,000-ish, just don't push it too hard. Just drive it 60, 70, and maybe talk to your advisor, because this should definitely be a recall, because there's a lot of Cybertruck on the forums that have this same issue. So that's the third, well, it's not the third issue. I just happened to start from the front of the vehicle. There's 4 major issues, so we talk about 3. This is the major issue, very concerning. The 4th issue we had was this recall. It's just not visually appealing to put a I guess a rivet to fix that pedal from not sliding up and down, but that's also an eyesore for a $100,000 vehicle. Right now it's going for $78,000 if you use the referral link in our description. We still highly recommend this vehicle, but because it's an early first year build, you're gonna deal with these issues. It's just prone to happen, just like the original Model S. I'm not upset that it happened, but I'm upset when and how it happened. There was no warning from Tesla, even though they knew that this was possibly an issue, because a lot of the forums has Tesla ex-advisor or technician stating the same. So they knew about it. They did nothing about it. So right now we're gonna get this on display, SEMA, transport it back, and then get it in service. So make sure you follow us. We'll give you an update what service say, whether they're just going to replace the rear motor or the rear and the front motor, or just parts of it, because I heard they're also cutting back to just fix the parts instead of replace the whole drive unit. So we'll have to see what comes out of this, but this is very concerning, especially if you're cruising a highway and this happens. So something to think about. But I still highly recommend. Love the truck. No concerns with the driving dynamics. It drives beautifully, and the drive by or steer by wire is absolutely amazing. Outside of that, yeah, actually there was another issue we had too. The A-pillar was coming off. So this A-pillar is held in by one bolt, and it was actually popping open. I didn't bother to bring it in service. I just screw it in myself by reaching in here with a small socket, and it ended up being fine. And the other issue is when you open up the doors, this was loose on actually on all the doors where we had pickup, but we took it in, they tightened it up. Actually, you can just tighten it up yourself, but that was the 5th item. So there's 5 things that we had issue with this Cybertruck so far. The biggest is the motor, of course. So if you find this video helpful, make sure you subscribe, follow for more. We'll give you an update on what happens with our service center visit. Thanks for watching. Catch you on next time.